Okay, this is Imperial Bay. It is a citizenship development, one of the few that actually requalified for citizenship. So not only can you get them from the developer, but you can also get them for people that are reselling, but they do have to actually take their property and get it qualified if a person's doing a resale with the Board of Governors. And then it has to appraise for at least $325,000 for that. Now you can see here, they've got a nice pool here. And as you can see, I'm coming here in the latter part of the day, so it's almost dark, but I wanted to show you this before the day's out. And remember, this is in Half Moon Bay. Remember I told you Half Moon Bay properties, if you buy houses, they're deed of conveyance, but if it's a citizenship development, then that has to be title property, which is good because when you resell it, it will qualify for citizenship when you resell the units. But when you buy them from the developer and then you resell them, you have to get them approved through the Board of Governors for the second resale for citizenship. And so you got to make sure it's not just title property. You got to make sure that you have that Board of Governors paperwork you see to make sure that they qualify still, for citizenship. Because remember, Half Moon Bay, all the properties except for qualified citizenship developments are deed of conveyance, which means they're not title property, but this is titled here, okay? So that's something that's real important that you got to know. And you can see it's 1, 2, 3 levels, and you got a 4th level up there, real good views at the top. And it's got real good security. I'm going to walk over here and show you the security, which is what you want. And a lot of the vet students want this because it's gated and they've got a security guard. So you got both of those. And I'm going to show you here. You got the bars coming in here, and they just come up, and there's a security guard in here. And this is the name, Imperial Bay. And remember, St. Kitts doesn't have an income tax, no capital gains tax, no estate tax, nor inheritance tax. Your property tax here is like 0.20% with a $29,600 US exclusion before that 0.20% kicks in. So you're almost paying no property tax at all. And remember, you're only paying $25,000 if you go with the real estate option for one person for the government fee. That's incredibly cheap. And St. Kitts, remember, doesn't have, they've got the most visa-free travel of any of the fast track programs in the Caribbean. And that's something saying for it, saying for the citizenship program. Remember, St. Kitts also, like Antigua, I like Antigua too, because they don't have an income tax either like St. Kitts. But if you set up a local company, Antigua does require the owner of the business. St. Kitts doesn't require the owner of the business to pay Social Security, but his employees would have to. But Antigua both have to pay Social Security. And a lot of people don't want to have to pay into that. If you have a local company, not an offshore company, we're talking about a local company in both of those places. Weather's really nice here all year round. Now, beyond these buildings, right here is the Marriott Golf Course and the Marriott Golf Course, and then you've got also the Atlantic Ocean right behind these apartments. Now, I don't think they have accessibility to those, but you might be able to find a way to get through. I don't think it's a public way, but you can get there in just a few minutes just going around a little bit. But again, one thing that's nice here is you got real good security. These properties can easily be resold for citizenship on another approval through the Board of Governors after you buy from the developers, or you can buy a resale. And as long as you have the paperwork from the Board of Governors, then you can resell it to someone else for citizenship under the current law they got right now. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we don't monetize our channel. If you can hit the subscribe button right on your screen, you get new videos automatically as they come out. And also, folks, if you like our videos, give us a thumbs up and share these videos with your friends. It helps us a lot on our algorithm, and we can get more of these videos and spread the word to more people. St. Kitts does allow dual citizenship. They don't have a draft here, no military requirements. It's the only St. Kitts and Nevis and Antigua and Barbuda are the only two that don't have an income tax on the fast track programs of the Caribbean. This is what you want to be looking for. Neither party wants an income tax here, political party. So this is what you want to be looking for. But again, real good security, swimming pool. It's got really good security too. There are very few places here that have a security guard and the bars too. Now you will have to remember the maintenance fees they will be higher because you're going to have to pick up for both of those items, and you got a swimming pool too. So that's the key thing that you want to be thinking about. But they do have real good parking spaces. The very, very top of here, really good views of the ocean on the units. You won't see it from this side. You will see it from the other side, and you'll have good views of the golf course, the Marriott golf course on the other side, which you can't see from here. I'm gonna just kind of walk around here. I think it's blocked off where you cannot actually get around there. I'm just gonna walk here and just see what shows up here. This is the back of, you can see the ocean off in the background here. I'm just going to walk down here. You see the views up here, real nice views. And the ocean's off in the distance here, and that's what you'll be seeing from the top floors. And again, this is the Atlantic Ocean. Now, if you're a U.S. citizen, U.S. resident, and you want to come down here and set up a business, you can qualify for the foreign overseas exclusion. And by doing that, you can actually deduct $130,000 for husband, $130,000 for wife. You can see up here, you're going to have a real good view from the top. Look at the ocean. And the ocean's right beyond this wall here. You can't see it from here though. But you got a lot of vegetation between here and the ocean. And actually it looks like there's no accessibility. Let me see if there's any opening here that leads to the golf course or ocean. I don't think there is though. We'll go all the way down here and just look. And I can tell you if I see any, but I think it's closed off. Probably somebody else owns the land on the other side of this building. So that's probably why you cannot, there is no exit beyond this wall here, but that gives you real good security because you got this wall here in the back. The wall's pretty high for somebody to try to jump over this. But it is real good security here. Walk around this way. See how tall these walls are right here? Might even have some mango trees back here. The mango trees are all over the place in St. Kitts. But what you can do is, if you want to know more on this, you can go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Just ask for some help. And again, you can see the views from the top. Real good views. Looking over. But this is what a lot of people want. We've got two medical schools and one vet school here in St. Kitts, and they do want real good security, and this is what you get here. I'll walk back here a little bit. Now, this is, like I said, next to Frigate Bay, Half Moon Bay is. So, but don't get confused because these units, although they're in Half Moon Bay, they will anybody who buys here, even if they're not a citizen, they will not have to pay the land aid holding license on this because it's a citizenship development. That's a big deal because you're looking at 10%. Anybody who buys these, they skip it because it's a qualified citizenship development. If you buy these houses up on the hilltop and you're not a citizen, you have to pay 10%. So if there's $600,000 on those houses up on the hill, you'd have to pay $60,000 in tax. These, you don't have any of that tax there because it is a qualified citizenship development. If you want to know more on this, folks, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. And if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, or how to get a second passport as quick as 4 months to a year, and we deal with over 100 different countries all over the world, not just St. Kitts. We deal with all the fast track programs, so we can also help you on that. And I look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.